What's up, YouTube? We back with another review. Today we're going to be reviewing Gachiakuta episode 12. Let's get it. So the anime starts off with a flashback. It's of Delman, the cleaner. He's in front of his yard and he's watering plants. And the woman appears. She says, "This is all thanks to you, Delman. We finally got flowers that bloom. All due to your hard work." Delman gets up and he says, "Yeah, but I want flowers to cover this whole house." I'm guessing the anime is giving us some type of lore on Delman the Cleaner's vital instrument, the beginnings of it. Moving along after the flashback, we go back to the present day, and we're back at Ammo's house. Ammo's still manipulating the rest of the cleaners. She commands them to attack Zonka and Tamsi, the only two remaining cleaners who haven't been manipulated by her. And so they attack, but as they do, it gets stopped. And Tamsi the cleaner, he sparks up his vital instrument. And just as they try to hone in on him, his vital instrument transforms into a net and captures them all. But not only did Tamsi capture all the cleaners, he also captured Ammo. And so just like that, we finally get to see the power of Tamsi's vital instrument. We move along. Ammo's frustrated. She's mad. She tells the rest of the cleaners that she's manipulated. She says, "Hey, attack him." They do, but it doesn't work. Tamsi's vital instrument is too powerful. They can't get loose. But it's not over yet. Tamsi still have one trick up his sleeve, because in his final attack, he uses his vital instrument to sew and bind all the cleaners together. Mission complete. The job is done. Moving along, Ammo's tied up. She's defeated. Tamsi and Zonka demand her to return the rest of the cleaners back to their normal selves. But suddenly the anime pans to Engine. He's laying on the ground helplessly hurt. He still haven't recovered from Delman's vital instrument, and the rest of the cleaners are worried. As we move along, Ammo is yelling. She's mad. She's upset. She's been caught. She yells in desperation to the cleaners that she's manipulated. She says, "Help me!" The cleaners respond. They look possessed. They're trying to get out of this vital instrument, even though they're being cut up and injured. And so as it looks like they might escape, Tamsi says, "Oh, no, no, no." He then smashes his vital instrument into the ground. This effect triggers his vital instrument. He releases the cleaners. But the friction of them being released and the speed is insane. They rip through the floor, and they're thrusted about 6 floors down. And as the anime pans to the cleaners, they're hurt. They're bleeding. And it looks as if they're all on the brink of death. Zonka's looking down, and he tells Tams, he says, "Hey, dude, you killed them." And as they're talking, Ammo suddenly appears. She starts trolling him. She says, "Ha ha. See, this is what happens when you don't want to talk to me. Your true feelings come out. You don't care for your friends. Look what you did to him." Tamsi's finna crash out, but suddenly he remembers something. He tells Zonka, he says, "Hey, bro, I totally forgot. We all have the spell placed on us by Remlin. We're all able to recover from a powerful attack. Remember?" Zonka's like, "Oh yeah." The anime shows us the cleaner slowly recovering from the attack. And out of the blue, Engine appears behind Ammo. He says, "I'm all fine too." He says, "And I'll be taking those boots of yours." The anime suddenly moves on to another scene. It's of Corcus, the cleaner's boss, talking to the secretary of the cleaners. He tells her, he says, "You still seem bothered by what you seen in Rudo when you first laid eyes on him." He pleads to her. He says, "Please tell me." Continuing along, we go back to Ammo's house. Engine has captured Ammo's vital instrument, her boots. Ammo yells at him. She says, "Give them back. Those belong to somebody special to me." Engine then says, "Yo, chill. Return the cleaners back to their original state and you can have them." She complies. She turns them back to their original state. We then go to Tamsi and Zonka aiding the cleaners that was under Ammo's spell. They're slowly recovering, but they don't know what happened. They're like, "Hey, what happened to us?" Zonka and Tamsi explain. He says, "Y'all were under her spell. She duped y'all in thinking that she was someone you love from your past." Zonka then explains. He says, "Her powers are nasty. Her powers are even truer and greater on people who've lost somebody in their past." Then it shows the cleaner Delman and Rio. I believe this is inferring that these two have lost somebody in their life important to them. After that, we move on to the rest of the cleaners. They have Ammo captured. Engine and the rest of the cleaners are trying to figure out what to do with her now. Engine gives her a boot back. He says, "I feel sorry for her. Let's just try to convince her not to hurt anyone else." As soon as he says that, Ammo starts yelling. She says, "I feel sick, and y'all destroyed my house?" She says, "Nobody feels guilty?" And what happened next is just crazy. Rudo goes towards her. and he starts to beat the brakes off of her. It seems as if Rudo's possessed by something. And as he's beating her to death, we go back to Corvus, the leader of the cleaners, and Simi, the secretary. She finally tells Corvus that Rudo has a demon developing inside of him, and it can destroy the world. After Rudo gives Ammo the beats, the rest of the cleaners grab him. They say, yo, Rudo, chill, chill, chill. Rudo says, no, I'm not feeling sorry for her. She lured us in here, and she almost got us killed. I'm gonna beat her to death. Rudo turns savage. He has no remorse. He's on demon time. Engine then suddenly interrupts him. He says, Rudo, okay, I see. So that's how you think, huh? And as the anime pans to Ammo all beaten and bloody, Engine says, now how are we going to get information on the person that can travel from the ground to the spear and back? Rudo finally calms down and realizes that he's wrong. Engine then tells him, he says, hey, come on, let's go have a private talk. As we continue, Rudo and Engine are a little bit awkward. This talk is not going anywhere. Neither of them are saying anything. Rudo then finally breaks the ice. He says, why are you not talking? He says, I don't need to. You already know what you've done wrong. Rudo then explains to him. He says, ever since I was a kid, people told me to hold my temper and not lash out. He then says, but when I was thrown onto the ground, I learned that I have to be a savage to win. If I don't, I'll lose. He continues. He says, I thought that I changed. I thought I became a better person, but that was all bull crap. He tells Engine I've reverted back to being a crash out who emotions control him like a little kid. Engine then tries to light up the mood. He says, well, for me, I like hot women. He then goes to describe the type of women he likes. But then he gets to his major point. He gives him his faults and what he struggles with women. He tells Rudo that, hey, I'm an adult and I have problems too, just like you. He says, all you have to do is just realize what you're not good at or what you struggle at and get better at it. Rudo's in awe. He's like, I can't believe he understands me. Shortly after their heart-to-heart, we move to the final scene of the anime. It's the supporter cleaner, Tommy, and Ammo. Ammo thanks Tommy for bandaging her up and helping her with her wounds from being beaten by Rudo. She tells Tommy, you're just like my mother. You're a great person. And as Ammo starts to open up to Tommy, she lets out a bombshell about her mother. She says her mother is the reason why she has these boots and why she's seen the angel that can come and go from the spear in the ground. The cleaner's in shock. This is the information they need. And after this insane cliffhanger, the anime finally ends. Woo!